515.
515.
FYI, if you could just note that I know there was a shooting of the windows and doors here at 151 Arlington at the end of the State Fair. We just checked that address and everything is fine on this end.
Call Kyle Meestad.
Calling Kyle Meestad. Copy. Info only. Around the time of the end of the State Fair, there was a shooting at 151 Arlington, and just check the address and everything's fine.
Are we live or not?
515,
Hopefully we are, but since we've had some technical difficulties lately. Okay, drive down University. That's good. Okay. I'm assuming YouTube, if not, text me. Alrighty. Thank you. Well, backseaters, we are live. I wasn't showing up on my phone. Sometimes my phone is slow to get notifications that the technology is working. So I have to call the smartest man, Kyle Meestad. And we are on University Avenue westbound through the Midway. And I have a special guest today. Our special guest is one of the smartest guys I know. And the finest writer I know. And he's worked for the St. Paul Police Department as the Public Information Officer of the State of Minnesota Public Safety Division as Public Information Officer. And I don't know, a year ago, how long ago did I recruit you?
Almost 2 years now.
2 years. 2 years ago, I recruited Steve Linders, come to work for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. And he's done an amazing job. Helps me navigate the media, works on our social media as well, and overall just provides good advice as to when the sheriff should stay out of the news and when you want to get in. Which, by the way, you teach classes too, right, Steve?
I do.
To other public information officers. So how long have you been in the business?
I started back before the turn of the century. The most recent one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been doing it about 27 years.
Really? Who did you start working for originally?
I got out of school. I went to the Harvard of the Midwest. And I went...
Hamlin?
Close, St. Cloud State. The Harvard of Stearns County. And I went into publishing. So an imprint to Simon & Schuster. So that was a long time ago. Since then, I've worked at Abbott Northwestern, St. Paul Schools, University of Minnesota, Mitchell Hamlin Law School, like you said, St. Paul Police, and now I'm home with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office.
What did you do at Mitchell Hamlin?
I did their marketing. But you'd be surprised because when you work with law professors, these are really smart people, and they can get themselves in some pretty interesting situations.
You know, I went to Hamlin, in case you didn't know that. I was planning to go to Hamlin Mitchell. Well, back then it was two separate schools. It wasn't merged with Mitchell then. It was just Hamlin Law School.
That's right. They merged about 8 years ago.
But I fell in love with police work instead of law work. It's kind of the same, in a strange way. A little more dangerous to be on the streets versus in the courtroom. Although that's getting more dangerous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hamlin just got a new president of their school and law school. Just saw on TV, I think maybe Almanac had her on. Good school, great school. I had a great experience there.
Great school.
And some fun times.
You could have been a lawyer.
Yeah, well, I was planning to be a lawyer. Like Harvey on TMZ.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
So anyhow, we're out on University Avenue. We're looking for stolen cars, folks, because there have been a few stolen cars out here today. Most of them in Minneapolis, stolen in Minneapolis, carjackings, just a variety of whodunits. Now that one's Linus, right?
I think that's Linus. That's the blanket. That's Linus.
Linus got the bad hair.
And the blanket.
Blanket, yeah.
The blanket.
So you got a couple grandkids now too, right?
I have more than a couple. Three.
By the way, does that take go back further for you?
No, I'm good.
No, you got long legs.
I'm tall, drink of water. Yeah, I have 3 grandkids. I have sweet Hayden, who's 11, and I have Olivia, who is 3,
okay. And
James is 1.5 years. So that's how I spend my time when I'm not working.
Yeah, that's good.
Best time.
I miss my grandkids. They're up in Grand Forks. It's hard to make that 4.5-hour drive too often. Totally miss them.
Change your life though.
So it is 71 degrees here in beautiful Minnesota, in case you're wondering.
Copy 149 Arlington. That's 13 feet.
Remember that in case we see it. The radio, as soon as we, the radio was busy before we turned that button, wasn't it?
It was popping.
As soon as we hit that button, bam.
Quiet.
We got all the radios on, all 6 frequencies. Oh, by the way, we backed up Chief Axel Henry on a situation before we went live. Good to see the chief down there at Wabasha and Kellogg.
Taking calls?
Car 1.
Taking calls. Amazing.
So I'm to teach Steve how to spot stolen cars.
I was going to ask. What's the trick? What am I doing?
The first trick is they drive aggressively.
Okay.
All right, that's the first trick. They used to do the wheel wag thing because they called themselves the Kia Boys, but they figured out that brought too much attention. They only do that when they're videotaping themselves, actually, to broadcast. And they don't do that as much anymore because they don't want to get caught. But one of the other things is they never buckle their seatbelts over them. They always buckle their seatbelts behind them.
Why is that?
Well, what's your guess? Backseaters?
Dan, do you have that big of a credit card?
Is that in case they need to make a hasty retreat?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In case they need to make a hasty exit and go on foot.
You don't want to get tangled in a seatbelt when you're running from the cops.
No. So almost every car we recover, there's two common denominators. Well, one, there's some fast food in there of some sort. Lots of times we're able to get the receipt and go back and get the video of who it was.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's good too. Two, they all smell like there was a pot convention in them. Because nearly all of our auto thieves are smoking pot while they're driving around.
Probably not the best plan.
No, well, it ruins the car sometimes for the people who don't like pot. So for the ones that do, maybe it's value added.
I don't know.
Value added, but yeah. And then the seatbelt thing. And usually the cars are semi-trashed inside, you know. But depends how long they've been stolen. But you can see the aggressive driving. They rarely leave themselves in a situation. You see, like I'm behind this car. They'll do whatever they can to get in front of the crowd. So you got to watch the cars in front. And the reason they do that is in case they're spotted by us, they want to take off. They don't want to be blocked in. You know. A lot of them are wearing masks still.
They're wearing masks?
COVID masks. Still a lot of them still wear COVID masks because quite often they're using that stolen car to commit other crimes. They're robbing other people. They're breaking into construction trailers. And so they don't want to be identified.
Oh, so they're not going to get a vaccine shot. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No. It's not because they're worried about catching something.
515.
Although COVID is making a comeback.
I heard that on WCCO radio this morning.
Has a camera out
They said
back.
the pandemic's
They
not
don't
over.
have any access to it this time. They will look through it, and if they see anything,
One of the
they'll
things
also-
that's helping us is the ability to track cars. We do a lot of car
149
tracking.
Arlington has a camera in the rear
But
window access
also
at the time.
the proliferation of video, home video, people's cameras that are activated outside. It doesn't even have to be the same person who got their car stolen. Anybody in that area gets a lot of video, and we prove a lot of crimes, or enough to confront the guy and get him to confess when he sees his picture on the video. Some of you might have read in the morning paper that I was urging the county board to leave enough money in their budget to actually give some raises to our deputies. This morning that there were 5 members at the meeting. 2 said they would support a little higher levy for raises, but 3 said no. So really it was like a 3-2 vote, and they did not approve any additional levy for the raises. So unfortunately what that's going to mean is, at least in the short term, Ramsey County Sheriff's deputies are going to be at the lowest in the metro for starting pay, and of course that makes it hard for us to recruit.
No bueno.
And negotiations have started officially, and they'll probably go to arbitration sometime next spring or summer. And hopefully an arbitrator will see the value of what our deputies are doing, both in impacting crime, keeping the courts safe, patrolling the streets, and award them a significant raise. That's certainly our hope. Certainly our hope. take a little tour around here. You know, it's a beautiful day. There was a news story on last night, and you as a professional broadcaster, about why lakes are named like Lake Phelan versus Jarvis Lake. Okay, why the lake is first or second. And after a 2.5 minute package, there was no answer.
So that's the answer. There's no rhyme or reason.
No rhyme nor reason. I was really excited to know, as Susan Littlefield was trying to find out,
well,
you know, what's the reason?
I'll tell you this. If there was a reason, Susan would have found it, because she's a great reporter.
Okay, well, that's
she
good.
would have
That's
found
good,
it.
good to know.
She's one of the best. Yeah.
She tried hard.
But there is no reason.
She went to the experts, and the experts said, well, it all depends on who names it. I mean, who knows? You know, I don't know. So,
Part of it might be common sense, because let's take Round Lake. Round Lake. You never
Lake-
hear of a lake called Lake Round.
Well, you know, because it's an adjective as well as a name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe you don't want to say Lake Round, because it makes it sound like you're talking about the adjective rather than the name.
Yeah.
It's a round lake, but its name is also Round Lake.
So is it Phelan Lake or Lake Phelan? I should know that. I don't. I get it mixed
I
up.
call it Lake Phelan.
What it is. I'm going to look.
I call it Lake Phelan. But... And Lake Phelan's named after Phelan, of course, who owned a ton of property.
524.
It is Lake Phelan.
Yeah.
Could easily be Phelan Lake, I feel like.
524 scratch.
Copy, thank you.
So, of course, all the news lately in the metro has been regarding downtown Minneapolis. Have you talked to the PI over there at all? About...
Not recently. He's been busy.
Yeah.
He's been busy.
Yeah, we don't keep you as busy as...
1610
Well, things are a little quieter on this side of the river. So far, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mute that once. We're going to mute this 1 second, folks. You know where that is? Right underneath the red circle is a dot. So anyhow, ton of crime activity over there in Hennepin and 5th.
529.
Did you ever go to Hennepin and 5th? Did you ever hang out there?
Back in my younger days, yeah, a little bit.
This is going to be advised.
Yeah.
Memories are a bit hazy, but yeah, I have some recollection of being there. Don't recall dodging bullets.
Copy,
I don't remember
1339.
that.
You don't recall dodging bullets.
I don't recall ever even hearing gunshots when I was down there. We spent quite a few nights down there.
Well, it used to be. I used to go. You know, Chris and I used to go to the Capitol Grill down there.
Good food.
But love the steak there, the environment, the atmosphere. But I got to be honest with you, with everything going on down there, I'm going to Baltimore instead, in Roseville.
Great food.
So I hate to say that, but we got to fix the problem downtown Minneapolis. I think Chief O'Hara is the right guy to fix it. He just needs some more bodies. It's all about recruiting and getting quality people on the street. That's the same for us.
Yeah.
I mean, he's down 300. We're only down 10. But our fear is that with the low wages that we're getting, because his officers got a good raise from the city council.
Yeah.
And so did St. Paul.
Yeah.
So the problem is people are leaving our departments to go to the higher paid department. So
133.
We have room, Charlie.
we definitely
Copy.
got to keep parity. But I'm rooting for Minneapolis, you know.
I think everybody's rooting for
Like
Minneapolis.
we're over here on the University of Minnesota campus. This is another place that has had some issues, but Chief Matt Clark seems to have it under control here, and Minneapolis has been assisting, and it's a beautiful campus. School's back in session. Drove through the other night after the football game. I don't remember having that much fun when I was in college, to be honest with you. But everybody's having a good time over there on University Avenue. We're one block over, of course, up on 4th. Home of the Gophers women hockey there, Ritter Arena.
I'm unable to stop, but looks like a property damage accident. John Ireland and Kellogg. The squad does not appear to be injuries.
So what's your most, of all your historical statements or things that you had to help people, what's your biggest one or two memories of things that you had to help policymakers navigate?
Well, when I worked at the University of Minnesota, since we're on the campus, I'll start there. I worked with then President Mark Udoff, and if you'll recall, you remember who our governor was, right?
Oh, was that Jesse?
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
So we had some budget battles with him.
Oh.
Yeah. We were striving to become a top 3 research university, and we needed some money to do that.
Okay.
So that was fun. That was fun going toe-to-toe with words. Yeah.
Messaging, yeah.
Figuring out the message, going...
Do you know which area of the
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Jesse's a smart guy, and he's good with words, so... It was, we tangled up pretty good. When I was with Mitchell Hamlin, we had a professor get locked up in Rwanda, creating an international incident. That was fun.
Were you also there when one of the professors got arrested?
256.
I won't mention anything.
Yeah. How do you remember that? That was a big name professor.
Yeah, no,
Wow. Yeah, he got arrested right there at the corner of Summit, and yeah. He was an adjunct professor, though, I should say.
Okay.
But, you know, and then in 2020, from 2020 to 2022 with the St. Paul Police Department, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, I bet.
There's a lot going on. The riots and...
Now, which chiefs did you work for?
Yeah, I worked for a lot of chiefs. So Tom Smith hired me.
Okay. And
then Kathy Warninen was, she filled in for a while, so I worked for her. And then I worked for Todd Axtell, and then Jeremy Ellison.
Okay.
And then when I went to the state, I worked for John Harrington.
Yep.
So I worked for quite a few chiefs. Yeah. I like working for smart people.
245. 245, sorry, can you go again?
245 and 235. Magic 3.
Copy, answer 234.
I've been over here since the 4th of July celebration.
156,
I guess they call it a celebration.
How was it?
It was crazy. But it all worked out. Nobody got seriously hurt. Several people got arrested for their riotous behavior. It's all good. It's all good. all good. Is Howie Padilla, is he still at Transit?
No, he took my old job at the state, so he's the director of communications for the Department of Public Safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who is at Transit now?
Drew Kerr, and then Nikki Muhlenhaus is their PIO for the Metro.
Because their chief just resigned.
That's right.
And so that's a little bit of a, and there's, I guess people are speculating as to why. I won't speculate, but that's always, it's always difficult to navigate changes like that, right?
That's a tough time, and change management is something that PIOs do. I mean, that's so much of that is based in communications and keeping people informed about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Especially internally.
Yeah.
Especially those coppers who have to keep going out there every day.
You know, there's all sorts of different types of politicians and chiefs in terms of which ones are comfortable talking to the media, which ones want to avoid the media, right?
Yeah.
And
Squad 822.
so
822.
you worked with all kinds. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you get people who are a little bit more loquacious than others, and people who are a little camera shy.
From the vehicle, please.
And you have to find that middle ground and make everybody comfortable. You know.
Copy at 1346.
It's not always fun to go up there in front of the cameras. You know better than anybody. It's not always fun.
Yeah.
But it can be.
Well, you know, I have to respect Chief O'Hara for going in front of the cameras as often as he does. He's not afraid to do that, and to be honest with you, it shows he's engaged. I probably wouldn't do it as often as he does.
He's out there a lot.
Yeah, but I gotta respect him for doing it. And the thing about him is, when he goes out there, he's genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's not like he's out there because he's trying to make a name for himself. He's out there because he cares and he wants to make people comfortable that the administration of the department and the mayor are concerned about their issues. And whenever I listen to him, I never get a feeling that this is phony. I always get a feeling that it's genuine, and I respect that because he does it a lot. You know.
Yeah, he's out there all the time.
You know, it's he had Katie Blackwell, assistant chief, on there the other day, but
saw that
for the most part, and he's giving tough news out, you know, regarding death.
Nothing worse.
No, nothing worse. I mean, their homicide rate is way up there. I guess that guy's in a hurry, huh?
There's somewhere to be. He's got to go.
He's gonna run out of gas driving that boat.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder when the Minneapolis chief, when he sleeps. Because every morning when I wake up and turn on the news, I see him, unfortunately. Does a nice job. But it's too bad he has to be out there.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like I said, it's whatever works for you. It's like the difference in Jesse Ventura and Al Quee. You know, I mean, everybody's got different styles. I'm not 100% certain.
Squad to assist 234 and 911, hang up at 507th Street to Holiday Gas Station. Nothing heard.
234, I'll advise.
Happy advice, answer you for you.
I feel like we're heading towards the Star Tribune headquarters. Aren't they right up here?
1349.
They're a little further left, but they could be.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you're right.
Code 4, thanks.
So we're going to drift by just for your awareness, because a lot of these kids that hang over here on Hennepin and 5th at night,
You get a 30-second delay, so even if for some reason you miss them, hit it after it passes, it should give it 30 seconds.
a lot of these kids do actually come from St. Paul and hang out over here. relatives, so it's not like we have no connection. And Friday and Saturday nights, a lot of our residents and our kids. Now, the crazy thing about this, the bars are only open really to 21-year-olds, and certainly can only serve 21-year-olds. But the 16 and 17-year-olds are out here. They have food carts. They have food trucks that are out here. And if you saw the chief on TV the other night, he speculates that some of the food trucks are selling alcohol.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
233
So
that's a bad
that's
combination.
a problem. So the licensing over here in Minneapolis is going to try to figure that out. But so this is it. He's same. I don't know who was born first. I think St. Paul was actually born first, but you could argue over who's the better looking twin. Right? I don't know.
You have an opinion on that?
Well, there's no Saint Minneapolis in the Bible. There's only a St. Paul.
Fair point.
Mute that for just 1 minute. So we are going to turn up Hennepin Avenue here. Now, in the evenings on Friday and Saturdays, they've started kind of a new blockade.
Last 3 or 3.
From people actually driving on Hennepin between 4th and 6th. And that probably helps. Just not, they haven't been able to figure out. So anyhow, it's a beautiful, beautiful stretch, Hennepin Avenue here. I mean, you're going to see the Timberwolves are on the side up there ahead, and beyond them, another block or two to the right is the Twins Stadium. So just to put some perspective, and if you see stuff, just shout it out, because there's some great restaurants down here.
Next one.
Which is the bizarre part of this whole crime problem.
The vehicle stalled in the middle of traffic, and a male's trying to push it out of the street. At 1353.
Beautiful day, though, huh?
Gorgeous day. Gorgeous day. Nice fall day. The problem with the crime that they have down here is twofold, right? So once they deal with the crime, we deal with the crime. We also have to deal with the perception of the crime, right?
Yeah.
You have to bring people down, let them know it's
well, the thing I'm surprised at, people come down here no matter how much crime there is. I mean, not me, but for the most part, people. I mean, so now we're at 5th. This is Augie's right here. Augie's, the brass rail bar. Over here, the poorhouse.
Can I get that Dan again, please? Copy, 180-360.
Got a medic rig ahead of us here.
Copy, thank you.
And we got one behind us. The one behind us is stopped, though. So anyhow, here's the intersection right here. Hennepin, where both the young lady got driven over and killed, and where the shooting was the next week, where 2 people were shot and killed. So
just awful.
Yeah, we got a lot of theater spots here. What's that? What theater is that we're driving by?
That's the Cowles Center for the Dance and Performing Arts.
Dance and Performance.
Yeah.
Tom's Watch Bar. Now that is a big bar. That's for watching sports. That is a classic place for people that like to watch. And if I went down 6th Street, we'd find a bunch of other great restaurants and bars. we got there? What's that bar down there?
Glukes.
But you can see, you know, it's well kept. Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine is there. Fogo de Cha, great restaurant right there. All right. Bombay Palace, unique Indian cuisine. Seven Steakhouse and Sushi. I mean, this is why this town is so very valuable. Just it's an economic jewel. Now we just got to figure out how to keep people from shooting each other and running each other over, right?
I guess.
That shouldn't be that hard, right?
Shouldn't be. People probably shouldn't do that.
I know.
Maybe they should just stop doing that.
Pantages Theater. Well, telling people to stop hasn't worked that well for us. Skyway Theater. You know, they used to have cops on the beat down here all the time when I started. Late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They were always... One of my friends, Minneapolis officer Bobby Dean, used to work the beat. Rumor had it occasionally he'd go into Skyway Theater and fall asleep, but I don't know if that's true. That's just a rumor. There's the Capitol Grill up here on 8th Street.
First Avenue, right over to our right.
That's fine, go again.
Well, you know, I used to work at First Avenue.
You did? Did you really?
As a young man, before I became a police officer.
What'd you do?
Happy 1300 Fulton at 13.
Well, I think we'd call it security.
You were a bouncer?
I was never very good at basketball, but bouncing wasn't bad.
Yeah. I spent some time as a bouncer down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we are over on First Avenue, and I was working down here when Prince was just taking off.
You were working at First Avenue?
Yeah. Well, it was, you know, in the 70s, and Prince was just taking off, and he used to play down here. I forget where it was. It's down by 5th Street, but
That had to be a cool time.
this was called Uncle Sam's back then, by the way.
It wasn't First Ave?
No, it was Uncle Sam's before it became
Really?
First Avenue. If you go back in the history books, Uncle Sam's. A lot of famous people played there.
Yeah, those stars.
Yep.
Dale Watson. Some good country.
Yeah. Brad Paisley's coming to the Armory November 2nd?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
It's a heart
The
institute.
only problem with the Armory is it's hot in there, man. Brad Paisley at the Armory.
You know what I like at the Armory?
There's the Target Center, by the way, home
it
of
is.
the Timberwolves. What do you like?
I like chairs. Now that I'm older, I like to sit down during a concert.
Well, do they have chairs?
Well, we saw Cody Jinks there, and they had chairs. We saw
Did
Tyler
everybody
Childers.
stand up in front of you, though?
Yeah, but you stand up, sit down. I got to rest
Well,
my weird
I like
legs.
chairs. Can you get like front row where nobody's in front of you?
Yeah, I think you can get front row.
I'll be at the Loon.
No.
It's a great spot. Pat, Scott's friend, runs the Loon. Last call. The other night, came over here and watched the activity at the Loon on that Friday. This place was hopping.
The last call?
Last call. Now, I don't actually relate to that kind of dancing anymore. But it seemed like they played the same song over and over. It had something to do with hands up.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've been down here. I don't recognize a lot of these
There's a
bars.
police station right here.
Right there.
Precinct, one of their downtown precincts. Yeah, it's good for some backseaters to understand how the town's laid out. We didn't see the Twin Stadium, we were a block away, but right over there behind First Avenue and 9th. We're going to drive down 4th Street here. It's a one-way street here to the east. see the Viking Stadium right there in the front of us there. Before we get there, you're going to see Minneapolis City Hall, which is a gorgeous building, right?
Beautiful.
Just gorgeous.
Beautiful. Can we talk about the Vikings for a second?
354 Tango, you can send me that well for sure.
I just accidentally self-assigned to a director control team. Change that to the fuel.
Happy with the squad. Just 354 Tango at 1377.
Sounds like a Minneapolis squad got rammed in North Minneapolis.
Christy Lindley, who has
I think they must have fled because the perimeter is being set up there in North Minneapolis.
To acknowledge a party unknown trouble impending 17th Avenue South and Cedar. At the top of the hill at the encampment, the caller can see a group of males holding down a female.
304, copy that call.
Three 354 Tango, you can send me that well for sure.
Happy with the squad. This is 354 Tango at 1377 White Avenue North. Callers requesting well groups on Christy Lee, who had surgery last Thursday.
Positive stable, copy yourself referring to the customer.
332.
Happy at 1401.
And a pin, mixed race male, baseball cap, black shirt, harassing staff, refusing to leave.
$383.
383.
Clear's booking, send that unknown trouble on Cedar and 17.
Copy.
There you have it, the Minnesota Vikings ship. 3-0 the Vikings are. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask you, is it Super Bowl, homeboy? Is this the year? Is this it?
You know, I'm only probably one of the few people listening or talking right now that was alive for all 4 Super Bowl losses. Okay? So I'm not going to get too excited. I will say this. You know, I coached a fair amount of football, played at Hamlin, coached there. I will say this. Darnold has an elite arm.
He can throw the ball. He has an elite arm, and football so much is about the arm nowadays. And Cousins had an elite brain, but Darnold's arm is better than Cousins' arm. He can really huck it. He can move too. He's got legs.
Yeah, I know. He can move, but I don't think you want that guy moving. He's so long and tall. He's like lanky. I think if I was recommending, I'd say keep him from getting hit.
Yeah, I think you're right. My sons haven't been through as much pain as we have, Sheriff, obviously. So they're hyped for this year. And I just told them, just get ready for it. They're going to stomp on your heart.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that you got Jefferson, okay? You're a competitor. When you got a good quarterback in Jefferson, you're a competitor. Now you add Addison, who's out right now, and then that Naylor.
Yeah.
That kid was frigging amazing.
He can fly.
He has got some wheels, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember last week, I think Jefferson caught a ball and he was running it into the end zone.
Yeah.
And Naylor was passing the 2 defenders.
Yes.
I was just saying, don't block from behind.
I know, I thought the same thing. Do not hit him in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got in front of him.
Oh,
but he was hauling.
Oh man, he is fast. He was a track star. In Vegas?
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I think in Nevada, Las Vegas. That kid is fast. I don't know how you cover a guy like that.
What about the referee? Did you see him? Same play. He was moving down there. Then he even did the hip swivel at the end. Swivel the old hips.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
32nd and 36th.
But they will break our heart.
Well, the fans. I wasn't at the game, obviously, but holy mackerel, the fans went crazy the whole game.
What a fun environment. Beautiful stadium, too.
How about the Colorado college team?
Dion's team?
Dion's team.
I don't know. How are they doing?
Goodness. Well, they're down. They're losing. They throw a Hail Mary pass, and the receiver drops it.
No.
Okay? But it's a good thing he did, because he was on the 2-yard line and he fell as he was trying to catch it. And in college, the play would be dead and there'd be no time on the clock. They had no timeouts.
No timeouts?
No timeouts. I mean, he was killing himself for dropping it, but if he would have touched the knee, which he was going to,
game over.
So, next play, another Hail Mary. They completed.
They caught it?
They caught it in the end zone. Dion's kid is a quarterback.
Yeah, he can play too.
Yeah, he got an arm. He was running to his left. He was running to his left, throwing 55, 60 yards into the end zone. That was a play. And then they went to overtime. And they went to overtime.
They win?
They did win in overtime because the Baylor running back fumbled on the 1 foot line.
Seriously?
Yes.
What a game.
Oh, it was amazing. You know, I'm a big fan of Joe Burrow too, although they haven't won a game all year.
They had a rough one last night.
Yeah, they had a rough one. Rough. So tell us your favorite, this is the purpose of this live, is to introduce you to Steve Linders. I want you to get to know him. I love this guy. He's an amazing writer, wonderful person. So tell us a little bit, before we go, tell us a little more about your likes, dislikes, what's your favorite things. Give the backseaters a little more about your personality.
Well, I'd be remiss, Sheriff, if I didn't mention my lovely wife, Nikki.
Yep.
She is my favorite thing in the world. I met her in high school. And then, of course, my sons and my grandson. So family is big to me.
That's number one.
I spend so much time with family. Next, I have a big pile of books I read. I like to read.
Okay. What kind of stuff are you reading?
Oh, shit. I'll read anything. Oops, sorry. I'll read anything.
Fiction or documentary? Or?
I'm more of a nonfiction guy. I got into Thomas Michener for a while. I don't know if you know him. Historical fiction.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Really liked his book, The Source. Really liked the Caribbean. But I like Augustine Burroughs, anything he writes. I just read a book about George Washington, biography.
Okay, I like that.
And when I'm not doing that, I'm working out or listening to country music.
Country? Who's your favorite band?
Oof.
Or bands?
I'll tell you what. If you're looking for real country, check out a website.
Yeah, by the way, when we got in the car, I had a country music channel. He says, well, I got to have you listen to real country. So what were you going to say?
Well, that might as well be hip-hop, Sheriff. But you got to check out Sturgill Simpson. You got to check out Whitey Morgan in the 78s.
Okay.
Big Cody Jinks guy, Tyler Childers. And then Jeremy Pinnell just came to the Turf Club. And he's this little singer-songwriter.
The Turf Club at University?
In University, yeah.
Oh.
Got my wife out of the house. We went there. And country music. It's
Turf Club. Well, I gotta go there. I stop by the Turf Club all the time and say hi to the people that are out there for their smoke breaks. But I didn't know you were one of them.
No smoking, and we don't go out much. But
there's also another.
Well, let me know when you're there.
Yeah.
7th Street.
And locally,
Vehicle that's sitting in the middle of the road that was hit. It's a red.
Yeah.
Locally, check out Cole Diamond in a place called the Mud Room on Friday nights. And, I don't know where it is exactly, just outside of St. Paul. Mendota Heights, maybe. A guy named Leadfoot Larry is doing some good country. So check him out. I don't know. Other than that, I'm a homebody. Work, write, read, work out,
521.
hang out.
Well, we love having you at the sheriff's office. Everybody, it's universal. there. And if you want to see what Steve Linders looks like, because we're a radio show, just Google him, because he's been on TV a million times.
Let me just apologize in advance for what you're going to see.
Giving bad information, I mean, giving out bad news, not information. Bad news. And you'll be seeing more of Steve Linders, because I'm going to force him to ride with me once in a while. And we're going to get him into some first-hand police work that he can see before he writes the story of what happened. He can be part of it.
Well, that'll be great.
We're going to sign off, backseaters. Thanks for joining us, and we will we'll see you periodically. But leave in the comments, please tell Steve welcome, because he's a great guy. He deserves to be welcomed. Welcome to the sheriff's office and to Live on Patrol in the back seat. Well, he's in the front seat of the Dodge Durango.
Right on. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sheriff.
Hey, thanks for coming. Hold off for 3 seconds and then hit that red dot.
Cancel 521.
Copy 521, you can stay clear.